I don't know, because they don't speak English. It's like they just eat like giant octopuses as fast as they can, right? It's you can't stop watching it. I think I always was just doing music full time, but more of just like I was a nerdy musician. I wasn't thinking of it as a career or like a job at all. You know, I come from like a family of a lot of musicians and artists, but they never really did it kind of like a professional way, like a big showman. You know, they were on faculties at Berkeley, they went to Juilliard for opera, but there was never that like weird focus of like, this is going to be your career, you're going to be a star, you know? So it was just kind of this craftsmanship side. And then I think when I moved to New York and I was studying at New School, I was like a jazz vocal major, like super nerd. And I ended up moonlighting doing jingle commercials to make money on the side. So I would like go around singing about like Subway subs and laundry detergent.
Do you remember any of the jingles from Was it?
It was
like
the $5, that $5. Yeah.
That was some of those commercials were you, or
Yes,
all of them?
any of the more like jazzy laundry detergent girl voice, those were mine. And there was one that came out where it was like a guy who had a sub and all these dogs started coming because they like loved the sub, and you hear the look of love start going. You know that song, the look of love is, because they all like love the sandwich. That was mine.
No shit.
But anyway, one of those recording sessions for like some corny commercial was booked at Platinum Sound, which used to be Wyclef Jean's studio uptown.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I was in like a professional recording studio, and like all these cool looking people were walking around, and the session, the engineer blew me off and no one told me I wasn't like doing the laundry detergent thing today. And Wyclef introduced himself, and long story short, just ended up letting me come into his session. And I think at that point, you know, he was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh, I'm studying voice, da da da. And he asked me to sing a song for him. I sang some jazz song, and you know, that was it. I was like, what is this world? And he's like, you know, you could do this for like a career.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? You know, I have some friends that are, you know, actors and stuff, and they'll jump over dead bodies to get on a table to perform for people just because they really love entertaining. And I just never had that gene. It's definitely something I have to keep working at a bit, because especially moving to LA, it's like people will really stab you and sing in your place. So
What do you think of LA? Because I know you were out in New York, right?
yeah,
For a
I
while.
like LA now. It took me a minute to adjust just because I'm such an East Coaster. I'm from right outside of Boston originally, and then I was in New York forever. And I moved to LA. I think just because being in New York, you kind of like glamorize being this masochistic artist in a way. Like you just get hungover all the time. You're just feeling like shit, smoking cigarettes.
It's like part of the culture.
Yeah, it's part of like being an artist. And then when I went to LA, everyone's so happy and healthy and beautiful. Like I didn't even know how to write music because I was like, there's a pomegranate tree outside. The sun is shining. Like, what the fuck do I have to like write a sad song about? I'm like happy.
Yeah.
So it definitely took a transition like period to figure out how to write negative or sad music in such a happy place. The one thing I realized, which probably relates to when someone gets sober and is still funny, it's like once I realized LA, actually I can like treat my body better and like wake up and like go for a hike or not drink 3 bottles of red wine for no reason. The work that I was doing when I actually forced myself to do it was much better because I was clear-minded and kind of like, you know, but it was still, I had to pull from internal struggles and painful things because like unless I'm, you know, being hurt all the time, you have to find it. You can't just like live it on the outside. Yeah. I really like musical theater. Secretly, I don't want to admit that, but I do. And I was looking up a scene from Guys and Dolls, the musical, and on YouTube, and Guys and Dolls, the documentary about men and their sex dolls, came up, and I just was like, what in the world is this?
I think I saw it. Do you have a secret Instagram?
Yeah, she has a little one that I started and then I stopped because my mom was like, what did I do wrong?
So when I was stalking your Instagram before this interview, there was, I guess there was a post and I clicked on it, and there you had the account that was tagged with the sex doll.
Yeah.
And
she looks like me. It's crazy.
She's very realistic.
Yeah. She's also like one of the older models. I got her because you just mentioned holograms. You know, it was like that year of Coachella where they made the Tupac hologram and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I might as well just get a doll, put it on stage, light it, and sing from backstage so I don't fucking have to. And then I found the guy who started all those real dolls in like Southern California. And it's crazy because he started out of his basement and now it's like a multi-billion-dollar industry. They ship 4 dolls every day just to the United States.
How much do these dolls cost?
Thousands of dollars.
When you go in to get the doll, is it like a full body scan? Like to
Yes, I didn't do the full body scan because like I was a bit of a wuss back then. I wish I had, but we did a 3D face scan, so her face is mine, and I picked the closest body that was similar to mine, even though she's definitely a little bit more well endowed in areas. But yeah, you can do a full 3D scan. Like people do like their dead wives, they do like Star Wars characters.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So Nia's about to sing my text messages and make them sound less awkward than they read and more beautiful with her voice. So this is some background information. This is a girl named Hannah that I matched with on Hinge, the dating app. I don't know if you guys are familiar. A little plug. Do you want me to harmonize? I don't know if I'm just gonna ruin it. No.
You can snap. You want to
okay,
snap?
I can snap.
Yeah. Let's see. Hi, Hannah. It's Zach from Hinge. I hope your trip upstate is going well. How is Wednesday, 8 p.m. at the Ren to grab drinks? Hi, how are you? I'm heading back into the city Wednesday, so might be tricky to set a time, but I think 8 shall work. Could also do Thursday. I'm great doing some podcast editing. How are you? And let's do Thursday then. How is the same place and time? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
That was amazing.